Hey guys, before we get started in today's episode and today's grand festivities, I'd like to point out, as you could probably hear by my voice, I'm really sick. I was planning to record this before today, the day this goes up, so I have to edit this really fast. However, I do want to say right now that I am sorry that my voice sounds horrible. However, this is probably the best I've felt in the past week to finally actually record this. So, yeah, sorry for my voice, and hopefully it's not too distracting as we get into today's episode. So, let's get into it. Alright, welcome back to another episode here on our WWE 2K19 Universe Mode. I'm, of course, Dominic here on the Bad Wrestling channel, making his way to the ring to begin our SmackDown Live episode. It is Finn Balor. Now, he is an interesting guy, okay? He always seems inches away from the big gold belt, the brass ring, as Vinnie Mac would say. However, tonight, he might get his shot in being within that title picture, because tonight he gets a shot at Aleister Black to kick off our episode. Finn Balor versus Aleister Black. Pretty interesting matchup, I will say, here on SmackDown. So without further ado, let's get into it as Finn Balor, with the Balor Club behind him, this entire arena in support of Finn Balor. Let's see if he can defeat Aleister Black. And hold on, wait, before we get into it, apparently something's happening backstage. And what the, is that Samoa Joe? Okay, that was a bit odd. Samoa Joe, and apparently his music has hit, and there you see Samoa Joe, who was just standing over Aleister Black a few moments ago. Can Samoa Joe... Okay. Well, Aleister Black was scheduled to have this matchup, and apparently he was just taken out by Samoa Joe. Apparently he was just beaten down or something. I'm not entirely sure, at least that's what I assume. Taken out by Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe standing over a prone Aleister Black. Okay, well, anyways, Aleister Black to take on, I guess to be, I'm not entirely sure. Apparently Samoa Joe going to be fighting out Finn Balor right now. Let's get into it as Aleister, oh god, Samoa Joe, look at this, throws him across the ring. And Samoa Joe going to stomp on Finn Balor. However, Finn Balor kicks him in the side of the leg. And Samoa Joe taking on Finn Balor, I guess replacing the World Heavyweight Champion here. Samoa Joe, of course, losing to Aleister Black, our World Heavyweight Champion, at the last pay-per-view, the one that just passed. Speaking of pay-per-views, the NXT TakeOver, the first ever NXT TakeOver this weekend. So I just wanted to make a bit of an announcement as Samoa Joe is facing off against Finn Balor. What a time to be alive to see these two just fighting here on SmackDown. Yeah, so the NXT TakeOver is not going to be on Saturday and Sunday. It's just going to be on Sunday. You're going to get a double upload on Sunday for the first ever NXT TakeOver Chicago, which is going to be amazing as Samoa Joe ducks underneath Finn Balor, going after him here tonight, not giving Finn Balor an inch in this match. A punch right to the jaw. Trips him up there. Look at that. Samoa Joe doesn't even care. He doesn't even care here on SmackDown. Picks him up. Powerbomb connects here tonight. Here on SmackDown. So yes, like I said, NXT TakeOver gonna be interesting. Okay, a lot of interesting matches. Velveteen Dream gets a rematch against Bobby Lashley. Maybe if Bobby Lashley answers the call. Andrade Cien Almas versus Pete Dunne for the NXT title, and many more. First ever NXT Women's title match against pitting Paige against Nikki Bella. Of course, they've had their history in real life as Samoa Joe absolutely. I don't mean to take a word from Paul Heyman, but conquering. I should say conquering, maybe is probably the word to say. Finn Balor, but Finn Balor trying to take some initiative, picking. Oh my god, you see? Oh my god. Finn Balor showing all of the strength in the world there as he goes up. Coup de grace potentially about to connect, and it does! Coup de grace connecting on Samoa Joe. The cover 1. And no, not even a 2 count. Okay, Finn Balor, he has barely done anything to Samoa Joe in this entire matchup. However, Samoa Joe, kicking out of a coup de grace is no easy task. And a double stomp again. And then a kick to the stomach. However, Samoa Joe catching him and tripping him there with the Dragon Whip. Here on SmackDown. As Samoa Joe, the Destroyer, big suplex there, big back suplex. Speaking of what's to come, coming up next after this matchup, Daniel Bryan versus one half of the bar, Cesaro. Okay, interesting matchup we will see there. Okay, two premier athletes just like Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, as Samoa Joe throwing Finn Balor into the corner. Finn Balor, he was prepared for Aleister Black. He was not prepared for a war machine like Samoa Joe, a Samoan submission machine. Look at this. Finn Balor taunting Samoa Joe. Joe asking for his best shot. However, Joe punching him in the stomach there. Slap to the chest. And Joe now turns that into a huge, looks like the combination there tonight. Okay, the suplexes, and then again connects by Samoa Joe, and Joe now throws Finn Balor into the corner. Balor here tonight gets picked up, and Samoa Joe, look at this, it's about to end the matchup, it looks like. Going for it here, connecting there. Spine shattering on Finn Balor. The cover. 1, 2, 3, and I can only imagine this matchup and that attack earlier was a direct message to our World Heavyweight Champion. As Finn Balor, he put up a good fight. He tried to put up a fight. He tried to put up a good fight indeed. But just Samoa Joe manhandling his opponent here tonight. As we move on to our main event, Samoa Joe, the winner of this contest. Everybody, like I just mentioned, Daniel Bryan coming out here for his main event against Cesaro here tonight. And Cesaro, ladies and gentlemen, one half of the bar. Okay, former tag team champion Cesaro, along with Sheamus, his tag team partner. And Daniel Bryan coming out here, not necessarily doing the whole yes, yes, yes down the ramp. A bit interesting. I don't know why. And it looks like he's calling for yeah, there he is. He's got a microphone in hand. What does Daniel Bryan have to say exactly? Before I compete in tonight's main event, I want to tell you all a bit of a story. It features myself and a group that has had some trouble with my opponent lately, Cesaro. In the tail end of 2013, I was targeted by the Wyatt family. They wanted me to join them so badly. They attacked me repeatedly and beat me down for weeks until eventually they broke my spirit and I had no choice but to join them in their cause. Now eventually, I had the strength and opportunity to leave the Wyatt family and go back on my own. Through this rebirth, I went on to win the WWE Championship against all odds. But it's become obvious that the Wyatt family, lately, has decided to try and recruit members once again. And it seems as though they have succeeded with Jeff Hardy. Now, Jeff, I don't know if you're hearing this, but I will not let this stand. Bray Wyatt has already masterminded his plan of attack on you. He has already taken your Intercontinental title. But I know you, Jeff. I know your will is stronger than Bray Wyatt's darkness. So after my match against Cesaro tonight, I am making my claim as the only man in the back willing to take on all of the Wyatt family. I've done it once and I can do it again. Jeff Hardy, I was once in the same predicament. So let me help you. Well, everybody, Daniel Bryan apparently calling out the Wyatt family? Maybe, I guess. Okay. Sure. Daniel Bryan calling out the okay. A bit odd considering, you know, his opponent tonight has definitely had problems with the Wyatt family. You know, one half of the Bar have lost their titles, their tag titles, to the Wyatt family. But you know what? Sure, why not? Cesaro, however, set to take on Daniel Bryan here tonight. The Bar have requested a rematch for SummerSlam. Okay, they have requested the tag title rematch, and you know what? I think they're getting it. I think Shawn Michaels has decided, of course, SmackDown General Manager Shawn Michaels has decided to give the Bar another shot at the tag team championships. So at SummerSlam, that rematch is going to happen. That's going to be interesting. And Cesaro here tonight, set to take on Daniel Bryan. So let's get into it. Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro. A dream match, we could say. Getting it for free here on Friday Night SmackDown. As now the two locking horns here tonight. Cesaro, elbow to the back of the head. And Cesaro definitely gains control early on in this matchup. And Daniel Bryan, apparently, look at this, changing his positioning so that he has more control over Cesaro. Okay, we are definitely seeing more of a wrestling match between these two combatants. As right to the face there, face first, went Cesaro on the mat. Daniel Bryan, however, pushes him off. Once again, wants to go for an elbow. Oh! Wants to go for the discus. Changed or got reversed there. And Cesaro, oh my god, look at that. Oh my god. The way he just picked him up there. No restraint. Okay, just showing off maybe. So the world, look at Cesaro. Oh my god, look at Cesaro. Big slam to Daniel Bryan. One half of the Bar, one half of the former tag team champions. Both men apparently have something against the Wyatt family. Daniel Bryan wanting to help out Jeff Hardy. Of course, Daniel Bryan was once in the same position as Jeff Hardy, being forced into the group, maybe. However, Daniel Bryan picks him up, throws him down face first. And Cesaro down on the ground. Daniel Bryan here on SmackDown. What is he deciding? Not too sure. And look at this. Look at this. Daniel Bryan showing off here a little bit of his own, going for a submission hold, trying to tap out Cesaro. Cesaro in a very interesting and unique position that Daniel Bryan has put him in. Cesaro might just tap out here. However, oh, right to the side of the head, side of the ear maybe. Punching Daniel Bryan as Cesaro slams him down again. And Cesaro now, oh, knee, oh my god, the entire weight, the knee. Okay, the knee striking down on the nose of Daniel Bryan as Cesaro here tonight. Having control here, the crowd watching on, booing the sight. They are not fans of Cesaro. And Sheamus, it appears, as Daniel Bryan getting picked up. Look at this. Suplex there, but the arm wasn't necessarily, you know, wrapped around Cesaro's head for the suplex. So a lot more strength, apparently, it seems, was put into that suplex there. The dead weight. And Bryan, seeing that Cesaro can apparently fly as well, as he went up to the top, struck down. And Cesaro looking down at Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, however, got a lot of fight in him. And Cesaro picking him up, however, changes his mind, gets dropped down. And Cesaro gets up, however, Daniel Bryan, elbow right to the head there. An uppercut. Oh, but the master of the European uppercut answers Daniel Bryan with one of his own. And look at this, Cesaro just looking down at Daniel Bryan, waiting for him to get up, stalking his prey, going for another suplex. German reversed, however, by Daniel Bryan, and Cesaro punched to the stomach to get out of it. Daniel Bryan gets, oh, look at this. Cesaro, however, changing it. Neutralizer connects there. Face first goes Daniel Bryan. Cesaro goes for the cover. The referee taking a sweet-ass time. 1, 2, 3. And it looks like it doesn't matter as the neutralizer has neutralized the threat of Daniel Bryan. But wait, there you see Cesaro after such a long, hard bout defeating Daniel Bryan here in our main event. And apparently Bray Wyatt, after the promo earlier by Daniel Bryan attacking him here, but Cesaro apparently one half of the bar deciding to save Daniel Bryan, and there you see Cesaro after a long, hard fought bout. One half of the bar defeated Daniel Bryan here tonight and saving him. Okay, well, Bray Wyatt definitely has made another enemy once again in Cesaro. I'm assuming the entirety of the bar. Anyways, that's going to have to be the end of this episode here on our WWE 2K19 Universe Mode. If you guys like to, please let me know by hitting the like button down below. Comment anything you want to comment, subscribe if you haven't already. But if you have, why not hit the bell to be notified of everything we do here on the Bad Wrestling channel. I am, of course, Dominic, and have a good day from Bad Wrestling. Bye-bye. Yo. Well, Bray Wyatt definitely has made another enemy once again in Cesaro. I'm assuming the entirety of the bar. Anyways, that's going to have to be the end of this episode here on our WWE 2K19 Universe Mode. If you guys like to, please let me know by hitting the like button down below. Comment anything you want to comment, subscribe if you haven't already. But if you have, why not hit the bell to be notified of everything we do here on the Bad Wrestling channel. I am, of course, Dominic, and have a good day from Bad Wrestling. Bye-bye. Yo.